The following program is intended to educate and inform. We discuss cannabis being used as medicine, the culture, science, and controversy of cannabis and cannabis laws. We do not advocate any illegal activity. Moth Networks and their associates do not claim to be lawyers or doctors, nor do they represent themselves as such. All their comments and views are of their own personal opinion and personal experiences. Opinions and claims made by the guests and advertisers on Moth Networks are their own, and all parties agree to the Moth Network use and policy agreement. Moth Network and Moth Network associates cannot be held legally responsible for the statements of the host or of their guests. We encourage all listeners to learn their constitution, to assert their rights, acknowledge their duties, and know their individual state laws.
I just graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to CannabisUniversityInc.com.
People drive by, T-Mac on the radio. Got so much on your mind, nothing's really going right. Looking for a ray of hope. Whatever it is you may be going through, I know he's not gonna let it get the best of you. You're an overcomer. Cause
Welcome and thank you for joining me today on Kingdom of Healing. This is Kimberly Mateo, certified naturopath and master herbalist. I started my journey into natural healing in 1977. For those seeking advice, it's my hope that 37 years experience will help you or a loved one overcome your health challenges. I'd like you to know that for the nutritional products that I'll be talking about today, we will cover at some point in the show here fibromyalgia and endometriosis and the nutritional supplements that are needed to bring these two conditions into balance. You can access them at kingdomofhealing.com. If you have any questions that you'd like to send over to me in an email, you can do that at Kingdom of Healing for you, that's the number 4, the letter U, at yahoo.com. Kingdom of Healing for you at yahoo.com. I can send you information on the alkaline water machine. If you have any questions, help to answer any questions that you might have. Me in an email, you can do that at Kingdom. I'd like to talk about for you just some wisdom from the letter U, my mentor, teacher, and my beloved friend, Dr. Bernard Jensen. He always said that the true responsibility for healing dis-ease, and we look at the word disease, and we divide that in half. It is a dis-ease in the body that develops from a lack of good nutritional uptake into the body. But that the true responsibility for healing disease should be put directly in the hands of those dedicated to preventing disease. We spend a great deal of time and money patching and fixing up a broken down physical vehicle that was designed to be self-repairing, self-rebuilding, and self-rejuvenating. Did you know that all tissue replacement can take place in your body in less than a year? You can have a new bloodstream in less than 4 months. You can regenerate organ tissue, every organ in your body, in less than 8 months. And you can regenerate new bone tissue in a year. You can if you get your pH into balance and you supplement your diet with organic foods and quality nutrients. We talked a lot last week about pH balancing, and a lot of times I will always refer back to that. We have to have our pH into a balance of 7.0 to 7.5 in order to uptake the nutrients that are needed to allow this replacement therapy to take place, and that is only by the nutrition and the nutrients that you're taking in. If we can only take care of it properly in the beginning, it wouldn't develop so many problems. Every disease takes time to develop. To eliminate a disease properly, it's necessary that you identify it immediately and take care of it in the beginning. The American Cancer Society says it takes at least 20 years to develop many types of cancer. Where's the doctors who can diagnose and take care of these diseases in the beginning? People need prevention and early treatment, not end-stage diagnoses, when at that stage, sometimes little can be done. A body that is chemically well-balanced will normalize itself. Every disease, every symptom, discharge, pain indicates chemical imbalance in the body. 80% of all disease treated in the U.S. is a chronic condition. I'm sure that better than half of these problems could be corrected by developing the proper nutritional balance in our eating program. Men of science are constantly inventing and seeking a means of improving upon that which has failed humanity in the past. In following natural methods, we find only those things that are used have been here since the beginning. It's the standard to live by through all things. The secrets that scientists are trying to discover, nature already knows. and it will be realized one day. An ancient sage once said, if there is one way better than another, it is the way of nature. To those who know we cannot get off of the King's Highway, we can't get away from the natural road and expect good health. Every part of your body is linked to an emotion. You can't have sweet thoughts on a sour stomach. But here's how your body responds to what you think and feel. When we go to the doctor, we expect to be told what is wrong with us. We receive a diagnosis and then wonder what we're going to do about it. More drugs are not the answer to health. What about the side effects? What about when you're in the hospital for tests? The food that they're going to feed you from the kitchen at the hospital. I mean, they're still serving up Jell-O, which is full of artificial flavoring, artificial coloring. It's full of sugar. It's made with tap water that's full of chlorine and ammonia. So, something to think about. Most people put their lives in the hands of doctors instead of taking back the power that sits within each of us. We have the ability to heal ourselves through our foods, herbs, and lifestyle changes. Get your body moving somehow, walking, swimming, rebounding, the little mini trampolines, the rebounders. You know, they move the lymphatic fluid throughout the body and help with the cleansing of the lymph system. Do you know that 15 minutes of just mild jogging on a rebounder is equivalent to 1 hour of jogging? Let's look at how to stay on the natural road, on the King's Highway to health and healing. Ezekiel 47:12 tells us that the fruit of the plant will be our food, and the leaves thereof for healing. We have a vast kingdom of foods and herbs for nourishing and bringing the body into balance. Remember first, always, that we have to get the body's pH into balance. 6.5 to 7.5, and 7.5 is really your perfect number. How we do this is with higher alkaline foods. All your green leafy vegetables, all your berries, pineapples, kiwi. These are high alkaline food. They're at 7.5 or above. They're very nourishing, and then we have the medicinal herb kingdom. We could start with what's in your kitchen. You know, years ago, we had purchased a side of beef, and my husband came home from work, and in the living room was all of these boxes. And it was everything that was in the cabinets. You know, it was the maple syrup, but it wasn't really maple syrup. It was imitation maple syrup. You know, it was the white rice. It was the white bread. The dogs were standing at the back door, literally waiting for the next serving of meat that was going to come out that back door for them. So here I was, cooking up all of this meat, cleaned out the cabinets. My husband thought I absolutely had lost my mind. But he was a trooper. He swallowed down all his herbs. He was eating a vegetarian diet. Grumble. But you know what? Hey, 30 plus years, he's still alive and looks pretty good for his age. So, you know, he did think I had lost my mind. But it is important that you do have to look through your cabinets. But one thing I found by doing that was that it's better to take it at a slower pace, because along about 2 or 3 weeks of doing without everything you were accustomed to, it can drive you a little nutty. It's kind of like drive you to the point of cutting out paper dolls. So some of the things that you might want to put on your list to kind of focus on and get your brain wrapped around this, get that mental thought moving forward to remove some of these things. The 10 foods that you need to remove from your diet pretty much now is all your GMOs, everything that is GMO grains. They've got to go. processed meats. You know, it's a lot of those, the meats from the deli. You know, if they're not smoked or baked and they have no additives in them, then fine, you can have them. But the ones that have the water added and everything else in it to preserve it, don't put that in your mouth. And certainly don't feed it to your animals. Microwaved foods, all of them. Especially microwaved popcorn. It is the most toxic food that you can eat is microwave popcorn. Sodas, the acidic energy drinks, most of the bottled waters. You know, these are coming in at a pH of 2 to 4, which is high. You know, that's extremely acidic. And we don't want, since we are 70% water, we don't want bathing all of that tissue and fluids in our body in something that has a pH of 2 to 4. It does not allow us to build health. The other thing is diet foods and beverages. These artificial sweeteners are neurotoxins. They're called excitotoxins. An excitotoxin, what it does when it reaches the cell, is it literally excites the cell to cell death, which is called apoptosis. It kills the cell. The next thing is white flour. It is totally stripped of its B complex. There's nothing left any good in it. The next thing is white sugar. And we need to remember with white sugar is just the amount of heat that is used in the processing of sugar is so high that there is absolutely not one nutrient that can survive that process. So you want to replace it with cane sugar. Look at the little children in Hawaii, the gorgeous, beautiful teeth they have. And what are those little children running around chewing on? What is their candy? Their candy is usually a sugar cane stick. There's a lot of nutrition in that. But the white sugar, it's dead. It robs oxygen from the cell. It pulls calcium out of your bones. And the other thing that it does is it paralyzes your immune system. So if you're trying to work on feeding and strengthening your immune system, it's very counterproductive to have white sugar in your diet. The next thing is all conventional produce. Hey, you know, it's all been crop dusted. It's all been given a chemical enema as far as fungicides and herbicides and growth hormones and none of these poisons are health building at all. And one thing that the body does is that when you keep continually taking these types of things in, the brain figures you must need it for something. It doesn't know what to do with it. So it figures it's going to store it off, and at some point it'll figure out what to do with it. Unfortunately, it never does figure out what to do with it. It puts it into an area wherever the weakest organ, into tissue areas, and it accumulates and turns into something that is going to rear its ugly face and have the name of a disease within a matter of time. The next thing is farm-raised fish. You know, we're seeing farm-raised fish all the time, and we stop and think about, well, you know, what happened with Fukushima? What about all the radiation that's been in the Pacific Ocean? You know, what are wild-caught salmon and halibut? Unfortunately, you know, I haven't been buying any of that, and we've not been eating much fish because of the waterways. But certainly the farm-raised fish is the worst. It's fed GMO grains. The other thing is hydrogenated oils. margarine, corn oils, those are not good things to have in the diet at all. You need to use butter. One analogy I like to use is it's 98 degrees outside. We need to remember our internal body temperature is 98.6. So imagine this. It's 98 degrees outside, and on two plates, one plate you have a stick of butter. The other plate you have a stick of margarine. At 98 degrees, what melts off of that plate and runs everywhere? Runs off of the plate. It's the butter. The margarine will melt, but it still stays. Excuse me. Excuse me. It still stays congealed. So this is what happens when it's taken into the body. It cannot be broken down. Butter is something that the body is able to use and to break down. I'd like to talk with you about fibromyalgia. In the medical world, this condition is looked at as incurable. 37 years in this field, I'm going to tell you something. There is not much that is incurable. If you're willing to do the work, you have to want to get well. You've got to do the work on choosing what it is that you're going to be eating and the nutritional supplements that you're going to take. Remember that we earn our health. The only time that we are given good health, the majority of the time, is when we're born. But when you're told that you're given the diagnosis of an incurable condition, do not accept that prognosis into your conscious mind. Start taking care of your terrain. Again, that's the pH, the 6.5 to 7.5, ideally 7.5, so you can uptake the nutrients. Add herbs that deliver the specific nutrients so that your system has what it needs to repair itself. Fibromyalgia is a debilitating muscle disease. It causes severe pain, and it interferes with sleep and or deep sleep, the REM sleep, where you're able to dream. It is a stress-related autoimmune disorder, and many symptoms mimic chronic fatigue syndrome and arthritis. It's time now to go to break, and we will have a 20-minute break. You've been listening to 710 Radio, 22.9 The Moth, and this is Kimberly Mateo, and I'll see you and be talking to you in 20 minutes.
I just graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to CannabisUniversityInc.com.
You call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail. And there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep, my faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours. You are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Oh Jesus, my God, I will call upon your name. Keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine. I remember the moment, I remember the pain. I was only a girl, but I grew up that day. Tears were falling
so weary when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfect. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up. I can stand on mountains. Stormy sea, and I am strong when I am on your shoulder. Oh, you raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. When the rain comes, it seems that everyone has gone away. When the night falls, you wonder if you shouldn't find some place to run and hide, escape the pain. But hiding's such a lonely thing to do. I can't stop the rain from falling down on you again. I can't stop the rain, but I will hold you till it goes away. comes, you blame it on the things that you have done. When the storm fades, you know the rain's fall on everyone. So rest a while, it'll be alright. No one loves you like I do. I can't stop the rain from falling down on you again. I can't stop the rain, but I will hold you. I can't stop the rain from falling down on you again. I can't stop the rain, but I will hold you till it goes away. When the rain comes, and I will hold you.
Well, everybody's got a story to tell, and everybody's got a wound to be healed. I wanna believe there's beauty here, 'cause oh, I get so tired of holding on. I can't let go, I can't move on. I wanna believe there's meaning here. How many times have you heard me cry out, God, please take this? How many times have you given me strength to just keep breathing? Oh, I need you, God, I need you now. Standing on a road I didn't plan, wondering how I got to where I am. I'm trying to hear that still small voice. I'm trying to hear above the noise. How many times have you heard me cry out, God, please take this? How many times have you given me strength to just keep breathing? Oh, I need you, God, I need you now. Oh, I walk through the shadows, and I'm so afraid. Please stay right beside me with every single step I take. How many times have you heard me cry out? And how many times have you given me strength? How many times have you heard me cry out, God, please
heard all the stories, and I've seen all the signs, witnessed all the glory, and tasted all that's fine, but nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no, and nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no. I see all the people wasting all their time, building up their riches for a life that's fine. Nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no, nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no. And I find myself just living for today, 'cause I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. So no matter if I rise or fall, I'll never be alone. Oh no, nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no, nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Oh no, nothing compares to the greatness of knowing you, Lord. Nothing compares to you. Nothing compares to you, Lord. Nothing compares to you,
Welcome back. This is Kim Mateo, naturopath and master herbalist, and we're going to continue on talking about fibromyalgia. Symptoms of fibromyalgia include painful and tender, recurrent aches in various points all over the body. There's a persistent but diffused pain in the structural system, the bones and muscles, a lot of fatigue, no energy, exhaustion, poor sleeping habits, depression, anxiety, headaches, digestion and bowel problems. Many complain that their skin literally hurts. The inflammation needs to be brought under control, and you need to avoid immune-stimulating herbs like echinacea, golden seal, elderberry, and oregano when you're dealing with fibromyalgia, because it is an autoimmune disorder. And we'll talk about ways that you can help to build the immune system very gently and we'll have that'll be coming up here shortly. As you correct the pH of your terrain and focus on building up the systems involved, the brain and the nervous system, the digestion and elimination system, skeletal system, and you need to feed and balance the glandular system as well as the nervous, the nervous system was already mentioned. Cortisol excess in the tissue occurs due to extreme stress. A lot of times, fibromyalgia is looked at as a stress-related disorder, and certainly when you're dealing with that, you do know that any extremely stressful situations really just set off your pain levels and the inflammation. So cortisol excess happens when the adrenal glands are under extreme stress. So the best things to feed the adrenal glands is vitamin C. Pantothenic acid, B5, is the specific B vitamin to the adrenal glands. The other problems that occur are the muscle spasms that are caused by a lack of magnesium. This causes the extreme muscle exhaustion. Magnesium foods that you can add into your diet are apples and apricots, avocados, bananas, a lot of the nuts, black walnuts especially, cashews. Coconut is extremely high in magnesium. Figs and dates, spinach. And for those of you out there that do continue dairy in your diet, goat milk is awesome. Very, very good. And I'd like to refer back to the apples being high in magnesium. I mean, remember when we used to say an apple a day would keep the doctor away? Well, we find that in the analytical breakdown of an apple, it's extremely high in iron, calcium, potassium, sodium. And you need sodium and potassium to keep the balance within the cell. For the cell to be healthy, it needs a perfect balance of 80% potassium, 20% sodium. And so we find that it occurs in that perfect balance in an apple. So you just got to make sure those apples are organic. We don't want them the ones that have all been sprayed. Fibromyalgia, fibralgia. It's Fibralgia. It is the name of a product that is a combination of malic acid, which is derived from apples, and magnesium. The malic acid plays a role in the ATP production. This is the energy production that takes part within the mitochondria area of the cell. This is where our energy comes from. Magnesium aids absorption of all vitamins and minerals. It has the ability to strengthen the bones and the muscles. It also regulates the nerve impulses. It helps to eliminate the pain and sensitivity of even touching the skin. It's not uncommon to have people complain about their skin hurting. That is very, very common with people with fibromyalgia. I've noticed with some people with fibromyalgia, if like a child is running towards them, they'll start immediately to guard their body. And that natural, innate reaction to guard their body is that literally the inflammation, that this diffused symptoms throughout the system affects the skin. And so therefore it's not uncommon that anywhere that you touch them, the skin, literally, it's very painful. It hurts. ATP production is severely depleted in low oxygen conditions of the body. An anaerobic state in the body is absence of oxygen in the cell. This is where disease has opportunity, because when we have an anaerobic state in the cells, the cell is lacking oxygen. oxygen, enough oxygen level, the proper oxygen level in a cell is going to kill off, it's going to negate any bacteria or virus that's found its way into that cell. So oxygenating the system is extremely important. So absence of oxygen, that state in the body is called an anaerobic state. Aerobic state, like aerobic exercising, it oxygenates the cells of the body. Jumping on a little mini trampoline, that oxygenates the cell. Alkaline water oxygenates the cell. And so these are the benefits of being able to get in the foods and fluids that will oxygenate and deliver more oxygen into that cell. A quality food-based vitamin and mineral formula like super supplemental is needed for a baseline of quality nutrition. This is also a formula where it can be purchased with iron. When you're dealing with fibromyalgia or the next disorder we're going to talk about, the endometriosis, iron is very important. Iron attracts oxygen, and iron in its element is called the frisky horse element. So it's used for energy. I just think about what it's like. I love horses and I love to watch them, and I have one in western Nebraska where my friends farm in the Panhandle, and just to watch them and the energy and just the playfulness when they're young is pretty wonderful. So that energy, we need to have that vitality. The vitality in the body is directly related to having adequate iron levels in the body. The next important formula would be food enzymes for digestion. This particular combination has a variety of different nutrients in it that will digest 30 grams of carbohydrates, 30 grams of protein, and 20 grams of fat. The enzymes are needed. The hydrochloric acid that's in this formula is needed to break down any animal proteins that are in your diet. The other enzymes that are present in that, the lipase and bromelain, and those things aid in the digestion of carbohydrates. And by having enough proper digestive enzymes in the digestive tract, you will assimilate what you're eating and pull the nutrients out of what you're eating. A lot of times you hear, we are what we eat. Well, I'm going to tell you something. We are what we digest. If we can't digest it, we're not going to build healthy tissue. And we do see a lot of situations of poor digestion. And you look at the diet, all you need to do is cruise through the grocery store. And it becomes very, very scary when you look into those carts and you see what people are purchasing. And they're really going to take that home and feed that to their family. It's kind of scary. It's always been an interesting journey, for over 30 plus years. Just cruise into the grocery store and you just shake your head. Even your children and your grandchildren know enough that when I take them, there were always comments about it. And then you watch the children reacting and acting out, and you look in the heart and go, well, over there eating. So digestion is extremely important. Absolutely, it's crucial, is digestion. And digestion begins in the mouth. And so it's why we were always taught to properly chew our food. You've got to chew that food up and get it masticated real well into the mouth in order to make it easier for it to be assimilated. Juicing, anything that's in a liquid state, it's already broken down. If when you're juicing and it is raw organic, all of its own enzymes to aid its own digestion is present in that. And I've got a really good recipe that's an easy recipe that is a good one to use with both of the conditions that I'm talking about today. And we'll do that in a little bit here. The bowel needs cleansed and regulated. If you eat 3 times a day, you need to eliminate 3 times a day. If you don't, you're constipated. Where are the other meals hanging out at in a body of 98.6? Autointoxication is what starts to take place. Over 80 toxins are created in the large intestine due to breaking down what you consume. If the bowel doesn't eliminate within 12 hours, you have a reabsorption that occurs from the bowel back into the bloodstream. And it pushes these toxins back into the bloodstream. The bloodstream, not knowing what to do with it, pushes it into the lymphatic system. We have your average person has 12 pints of blood. We have 45 pints of lymphatic fluid. So when you keep taking and ingesting in these things and the bowel is not eliminating and you're reabsorbing these 80 plus toxins that were created by the breakdown of the digestion process, and you're reabsorbing this back into your bloodstream, the bloodstream carries it throughout the system. The organs that are really struggling, it leaves those poisons behind in that organ because that organ doesn't have the integrity or the strength to go, hey, you don't belong here, move on out of here. It doesn't. It settles, it accumulates, it becomes part of that tissue and breaks it down. And the other thing is when the blood becomes so overloaded with this constant assault of all of these different chemicals that it doesn't know what to do with. And the reabsorption, even from the bowel, it pushes them off into the lymphatic system. So you stop and think, 12 pints of blood, 45 pints of lymphatic fluid. Hey, you can dump a lot of toxins for a long time. And then what happens when you've had enough toxins dumped into the lymphatic system over a period of time? You get your swollen glands. You get your lumps in your bumps. You get your lymphomas. You get your cysts. Okay? So, another reason that it is so important to keep that bowel eliminating. So, with that reabsorption, the only way to stop that is to use things that help to get the bowels moving. Bowel health needs 30 to 35 grams of fiber daily to absorb and eliminate these toxins. Now, one thing is I always have people do the psyllium husks, the psyllium seed, and psyllium husks. I like the psyllium husks to be used. They create more bulk. You add 1 tablespoon of this 2 times a day into, if you're juicing. Once you pour, toss the psyllium husks into your juicing. Or stir it up into it once you're done and you've poured it into a glass. It can be just stirred up. There's no taste to it. Don't use Metamucil, okay? Metamucil has sugar. It has artificial flavoring. And, of course, then along with, the artificial flavoring, they have to make it the color that you would think that flavor is. So here comes the artificial color. So just plain psyllium husks. And the company that I do use, I guarantee you, the quality control is so strict that every barrel of everything that comes into the manufacturing plant, it is tested. There's over 600 physical tests that are done on a barrel, each barrel. And one of the things is that a lot of these psylliums that are sold on a lot of the shelves that have been pulled off and tested are extremely high in lead. And a lot of psyllium is harvested, and it comes from India. And lead is a neuropoison. It's back to being one of those excitotoxins. When you take it into the body, it excites the cell to cell death, which is called apoptosis. So you've got to get that fiber up. I do want to mention that don't take psyllium when you're taking specifically any nutritional supplements. Do that separately. Wait an hour or so before you take any vitamins or any specific herb supplements. Because when that fiber gets down throughout the digestive tract, it bulks things up. And you don't want the nutrients, those specific nutrients that you're taking, to get all caught up in that. Okay, so do that separately. Intestinal Soothe and Build is a bowel product that we will talk about when we come back from break. You're listening to 710 Radio, Moth 22.9 Denver. And our sponsors are Medicine of the Herb, facebook.com/moth.denver. We'll see you after break.
I just graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to CannabisUniversityInc.com.
come. Feel like letting go. Life goes on, wasting no more time. So much like nothing is black and white anymore. Shades of gray and I feel a weight over my shoulder. Stop getting older. I always thought that I knew where I'd wanna go, but now I'm here and I find that I'm still getting colder. It's kinda tough getting older. Here before my eyes, many roads ahead. Time for me to choose one way now. If I take a chance, what lies down the road? Feeling so confused, turn around. On and on, on and on and on. Yeah, yeah. Seems like nothing is black and white anymore. Shades of gray and I feel a weight over my shoulder. Stop getting older. I always thought that I knew where I'd wanna go, but now I'm here and I find that I'm still getting colder. It's kinda tough getting older. I never thought that I'd feel this way. I always knew that my life would change. On and on, on and on. Yeah, yeah. Waited all my life for this day to come. I feel like letting go. Life goes on. Over my shoulder. On and on. It's tough getting older. On and on. Yeah, yeah. Seems like nothing is black and white anymore. Shades of gray and I feel a weight over my shoulder. Stop getting older. I always thought that I knew where I'd wanna go, but now I'm here and I find that I'm still getting colder. It's kinda tough getting older. Waited all my life for this day to come.
Ever get something in your head? It's nothing you heard or something you read. Ever had a cup but you never saw him play? Brought to your knees but you never prayed. Jesus in disguise, Jehovah passing by, the burden of a tear hanging in your eye. Jesus in disguise, a scar across the sky. You were looking for a king you would never recognize. Jesus in disguise. am, blind as I am, blind as I am. Open my eyes wide as I can, blind as I am, blind as I am. Jesus in disguise. Jesus in disguise. Jesus in disguise. Blind as I can, blind as I am, blind as I am. Jesus in disguise. Blind as I can, blind as I am, blind as I
You're the first face that I see, and the last thing I think about. You're the reason that I'm alive. Know what I can't live without. Know what I can't live without. You never give up when I'm falling apart. Your arms are always open wide, and you're quick to forgive when I make a mistake. You love me in the blink of an eye. I don't deserve you now, but you give it to me anyway. Can't forget now. You're everything I need, and when I walk away, take off running and come right after me. It's what you do, and I don't deserve you. You're the light inside my eyes. Give me a reason to keep trying. Give me more than I could dream, and you bring me to my knees. You bring me to my knees. Your heart is golden, how am I the one that you've chosen to love? I still can't believe that you're right next to me. After all that I've done, I don't deserve you now, but you give it to me anyway. Can't get now. You're everything I need, and when I walk away, take off running and come right after me. It's what you do, and I don't deserve you. Are you telling me to go? Are you telling me to stay? Are you telling me to hold on to you for another day? 'Cause I got nothing left, and I'm hanging by a thread. I give you all my weakness, you give me your strength. 'Cause I'm here again, here at my end, where you began. I've seen broken turn into beauty. I've seen redemption come in and save the day. Yeah, so I don't have to be afraid. No, when you're telling me to go, when you're telling me to stay, when you're telling me to hold on to you for another day, when I got nothing left, when I'm hanging by a thread, I'll give you all my weakness, you give me your strength. Yeah, I'm here again, here at my end, where you began, where you began. Oh, Jesus, you make all things new, so I will trust in you. Are you telling me to go? Are you telling me to stay? Are you telling me to hold on to you for another day? 'Cause I got nothing left. Yeah, I'm hanging on your thread. I give you all my weakness. You give me your strength. 'Cause I'm here again, here at my end, where you begin, where you begin.
Hi, welcome back. This is Kim Mateo, and you're listening to the Kingdom of Healing program. And I'm going to continue on talking about fibromyalgia and talking about a product called Intestinal Soothe and Build. This particular product is put together for leaky gut syndrome. There's a lot of leaky gut syndrome out there. This is where literally the excess of toxins that build up on the wall of the bowel literally seep through the intestinal wall and are by way of nerve path carried off to different organs in the body. And that is determined by the location of the bowel where that excess buildup is at and the seeping of those toxins. Irritable bowel syndrome is another thing that Intestinal Soothe and Build addresses. Spastic bowel conditions, which those are all brought on by stress, and a lot of times the types of people who develop the spastic bowel conditions, colitis and Crohn's disease, sometimes
Irritable bowel syndrome is another thing that
hold
Intestinal
a lot
Soothe and
of
Build
stress
addresses.
in and not be able
Spastic
to
bowel
express
conditions,
that.
which those
This
are all
product,
brought on by
it helps those who fluctuate from watery or loose stools to constipation. It aids in the bloating feeling as well, where you get a lot of distension in the abdominal area and feel very full, very uncomfortable. If you deal with bloating, it's best to remove from your diet grains, especially wheat, rye, soy, and corn. These are common GMOs, and they're very high in gluten as well. And the problems that we have with gluten today, as opposed to 40, 50 years ago, is we have excessively high levels of gluten, which is a protein, and the body is not able to break it down. It is at an unnatural level, and it is not what it was, the way that it was created and intended to be. The next line of importance would be taking care of the inflammation. There's a product that we have called IF Relief, and it's an herbal combination for pain and inflammation. Curcumin is an ingredient in it, the largest amount in it, and that's used singly or in the IF formula. Curcumin, which is the active property of turmeric, has been researched and documented to take care of the following conditions. It's a natural anti-inflammatory, and how it works as a natural anti-inflammatory is it has the ability to block the COX-2 enzyme that is the COX-2 inhibitor, and by blocking that, it prevents inflammation. Curcumin is also an antiseptic as well as an antibiotic. It aids in the speeding of wound healing. It improves digestion. It's also a blood purifier. It's an anti-arthritic, and it strengthens the ligaments as well. It's used very well to help with coughs. It prevents the gas and bloating that occurs in the digestive tract. It has the ability to lower cholesterol. It heals stomach ulcers. It is researched to prevent cancer, to prevent abnormal cells from multiplying in the body. It also reduces the side effects of chemotherapy. It improves the skin condition, and by overall improving the skin, it helps with acne and psoriasis, as well as eczema. So the IF formula is something that I use and recommend with people with a lot of pain and inflammation. Another thing that I like to use is a cannabinoid product that is used in an ointment to use on the skin area for those who suffer with extreme pain and inflammation conditions. They do receive a lot of relief from using an ointment like that. Protein sources that I wanted to go through is free amino acids. And amino acids are the building blocks of protein that help develop and maintain solid muscle tissue. Amino acids are very beneficial in times of physical activity, undergoing stress, and when the body is needing to overcome illness and you're in a rebuilding and a recovery cycle with getting well. 20 amino acids are needed by the body to make protein. 12 of them the body makes. The other 8 must be supplied by diet. The amino acid L-carnitine, it helps to transport the fatty acids into the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the energy-producing part of the cell. That's where the ATP is found. Where they are burned for energy. Mitochondria burns the energy. Magnesium in this combination acts as a cofactor to help activate enzymes necessary for carbohydrate and amino acid metabolism. Another complete protein, and it's one that I use all the time with my juicing, is hemp seed protein. It has all needed essential and non-essential amino acids. It's the highest in protein as a supplement to the diet. I always add it to my juicing regime. It has a really nice nutty flavor to it. It also has naturally occurring essential fatty acids and ganolinic acid, EFAs and GLAs. These fatty acids are vital to the health of the cell membrane, and it also contributes to cardiovascular, brain, and structural system functioning. They provide joint and skin support. Fatty acids are also needed for the strength and elasticity in the cell membrane wall. It helps to keep toxins out and allow nutrients and oxygen in. They also help to protect the nerve sheath of the autonomic nervous system. Hemp seed protein has a nice nutty taste that blends well with vital juicing and can be added to yogurt as well for an extra protein boost. So it's something that's very easy to add to the diet. I'm sure there's plenty of recipes that you're making right now where that can be added into that and help to increase the protein and essential fatty acids that you're needing in your diet. The next system involved with fibromyalgia that also needs to be addressed is the nervous system. Nervine herbs are herbs that feed the nervous system. They're naturally high in B complex. Hop, skullcap, valerian, chamomile. These are herbs, just a small handful of nervine herbs. Lobelia is considered the king of the nervine herbs. You have to be very careful with lobelia. Native American Indians called it pukeweed, and it will gather poisons in the stomach, and by doing that, it finds the fastest avenue out of the body. So it will cause you to bring that back up if you ingested something. I always had plenty of that on hand. Mainly for my son who had grand mal seizures. Lobelia was part of his daily regime that he took to control that, but it was also good to have on hand for the other two children in case they happened to get into something somewhere. I had that to gather those poisons and get rid of it out of their system. So we find that in the nervine herbs in nature, that when we look at the nutrient count of these herbs, they're high in B complex, they're high in calcium, they're high in magnesium, and these three nutrient groups are needed for the health and the strength of the nervous system, for the proper functioning of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. The combination that I like to use is called Nerve 8 for fibromyalgia. And this has quite a few single herbs that are nervine herbs, high in B complex. But it also has white willow in it, which is an analgesic, and it is used for pain. It also has devil's claw, which helps to reduce the cellular stress. Ginger is also in this combination, as well as a little bit of cayenne pepper. And one thing I want you to know about ginger and cayenne pepper is that they both aid the circulation. Cayenne, which is called capsicum, which is called cayenne, aids circulation above the waist. So it's not uncommon to see herbal combinations that are used for organs above the waist, that those have cayenne in them as a carrier herb. Ones that are used for below the waist, for instance, kidneys, bladder, ginger is used. And ginger aids circulation below the waist. So when you use the two of these together, the cayenne and the ginger, they're catalyst herbs, they're carrier herbs. They help to carry the other herbs throughout the system. So you can see by using both of those in this particular combination, it helps to carry and transport those herbs throughout the whole system. And that product, again, is called Nerve 8. The next system involved is the skeletal system. I prefer to suggest an herbal calcium formula when someone is suffering from fibromyalgia. Herbs are food and very high in nutrition. They are assimilated and readily utilized in the tissue. Herbal CA is bioavailable and high in minerals. One of the herbs in it is alfalfa, which balances the pH. It's also called father of all, and that is because its roots grow the deepest and they search out all the minerals and the trace minerals in the ground. Horsetail is another herb in this formula, herbal CA, which is high in silicon. It strengthens the sheath surrounding the nerves. It's also very, very good for people who have MS. It builds strong bones, strong teeth, and strong, dense muscles. Plantain leaves is also in this formula, and it helps to detoxify the poisons that accumulate in the body by gathering them and carrying them out. Marshmallow root, it's been called the Jello gloves in the sense that it is very soothing. It's very neutralizing in the digestive tract as well. It soothes irritations throughout the body. Wheatgrass is in this formula, which is extremely high in trace nutrients, and it's high antioxidant. Hops is also in this formula, which supports the nerves, the urinary tract, kidney, gallbladder area, as well as the spleen. So that formula to help to strengthen and bring balance to the bone structure and the muscle and the skeletal system is the herbal CA. I like the concentrated one. It is equal to 4 to 6 of the regular strength. So if you're dealing with a lot of bone pain, muscle pain, it is something that maybe at first you need to take 3 concentrated capsules twice a day or 3 times a day. We need to remember as well is that it takes 5 to 7 times more nutrition to overcome a disease condition in the body. So when you get to the point of dealing with a chronic condition, when you look at the normal recommendations of a supplement to take, that normal recommendation is to maintain health. It's for maintaining health. So if you're trying to overcome a health challenge and you are in a chronic or a degenerative state, you're going to need 5 to 7 times the amount. A lot of times you'll look at a magnesium product and it'll say 500 milligrams, but it'll say take 1 a day. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Magnesium, you need to take magnesium. It is the relaxant. It's what's going to smooth the spasming of the muscles. It strengthens the bones. You're going to need 2.5 grams to 3 grams. So 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. So if you've got a 500 milligram magnesium and it says to take 1 a day, that's a half a gram. What do you think that's going to do? You're sick. It's a fly swatter effect. It's not going to get in there. You're not going to have enough nutrition to get you to the point that you need to have the excess for the cell to go, yes, thank you. Now you've given me something I can work with. Now we can get on rebuilding this tissue. So you need to be looking at magnesium that, like I said, is 2.5 grams, which would be 2,500 milligrams to 3,000 milligrams. So you really need 3 of those magnesiums twice a day. So there's your 6, there's your 3,000 milligrams. So you can see where it says to take 1, you're going to need 5 to 7 times the amount. So that brings you up to that, 3 grams. Okay. So you just need to remember this is why juicing is wonderful. when you pull all of that food out, and you're getting ready to put it into a powerful blender, there is no way that if you were to prepare all of that and put it in a big bowl and sit down to that, chances are you would never eat that amount of food. You just wouldn't. You couldn't do it. So by juicing it, it breaks it down, it liquefies it, and all your digestive tract has to do is just absorb all the good nutrition. The next thing I want to talk about here is probiotics, acidophilus, the good bacteria. 70 to 80% of the immune system is found in the digestive tract. So in order to maintain and replenish the good bacteria in the gut that gets damaged from antibiotics, stress, poor diet, they cause an imbalance in the gut. Sometimes an overgrowth of the wrong bacteria take over. When there isn't enough good bacteria to keep the foundation strong. When you take an antibiotic, it cannot discern what is a bad bacteria and what is a good bacteria. It just kills everything in its path. So, unfortunately, that's why, it's real common that after a lot of people, it can be very common that they develop a yeast infection or they end up with a rash all over their body. And what that rash is it comes from candida in the body, fungus in the body, that it's showing itself by trying to come out through the skin. So the way to get that into balance, and it is through probiotics. There's the yogurts, and, read labels, please. Read labels. I mean, if you can understand what it is, if you can read it, you can pronounce it, it's good for you, most of the time. Or at least it's something that, if it's not good for you, you at least know what it is. So, yogurts are good, or just to take a concentration of a good probiotic combination, because a lot of people have, they are lactose intolerant and they have dairy allergies. So the majority of our immune system is in the gut, and this is the best way to start building up your immune system. Fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disorder. So with that being an autoimmune disorder, we want to be careful about using herbs that are specific to the immune system. Sometimes it can be too overwhelming. Okay, the immune system is overreacting. The best way to bring in that balance is to soothe it and feed it, is to go to the root of the problem. The root of the problem is your pH or your foundation and what's going on in that gut. And that, by taking care of that, the body starts to come into balance. This is the safest way and the best way to bring harmony to an overactive or underactive condition. Kefir is liquid yogurt, and my grandchildren love it, and it was one of the things that I loved when I did live in Missouri at the Lake of the Ozarks. A really, really good friend of mine, and she lives down in Eureka Springs, Arkansas now. She had goats, and my friend in western Nebraska has quite the herd of goats. But I love the goat milk. I love the kefir made from goat milk. I love the goat milk cheese. So kefir is another thing that you can add to the diet. Looks like it's time for a break again. And you're listening to 710 Radio, Moth 22.9, Denver, Colorado. And our sponsors are Medicine of the Herb, Facebook.com/Moth, Denver. And our other sponsor is Cannabis University, CannabisUniversityColorado.com.
graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to CannabisUniversityInc.com.
2 months is too little. They let him go. They had no sudden healing. To think that Providence would take a child from his mother while she prays is appalling. Who told us we'd be rescued? What has changed and why should we be saved from nightmares? We're asking why this happens to us who have died to live. It's unfair. This is what it means to be held, how it feels when the sacred is torn from your life and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell, we'd be held. This hand is bitterness. We want to taste it, let the hatred numb our sorrow. The wise hand opens slowly to lilies of the valley, and tomorrow, this is what it means to be held, how it feels when the sacred is torn from your life and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell, we'd be held. If hope is born of suffering, if this is only the beginning, can we not wait for 1 hour, watching for our Savior? This is what it means to be held, how it feels when the sacred is torn from your life and you survive. This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell, we'd be This is what it is to be loved and to know that the promise was when everything fell, we'd be held. This is what it means to be held.
I gave my word, I made a promise, and I'm gonna keep it to the end. What would I do if I lost it? There's nothing better than what we had. Somehow in my mind, always knew I to show you I love you, then I will.
An ache so deep that I can hardly breathe. This pain can't be imagined. Will it ever heal? Your hand, so small, held a strand of my hair, so strong. All I could do was keep believing. Was that enough? Is anyone there? I wanna scream. Is this a dream? How could this happen to me? This isn't fair. This nightmare, this kind of torture, I just can't bear. I want you here. I want you I waited so long for you to come. Then you were here, and now you're gone. I was not prepared for you to leave me. Oh, this is misery. Are you still there? I wanna scream. Is this a dream? How could this happen to me? This isn't fair. This nightmare, this kind of torture, I can hardly breathe.
Welcome back. This is Kimberly Mateo, and you're listening to Kingdom of Healing. And I want to remind you of my website, kingdomofhealing.com, and my email, which is kingdomofhealingforyou@yahoo.com. Yahoo.com. Also, if we get a chance, the last hour, I want to give you the call-in number, the 626-709-6637. And again, that is 626-709-6637. And that'll be a little later in the show. I want to continue with probiotics and on the proper way that I have found in over 3 decades of working with people is the best way to take your probiotics is at bedtime. And you're going to take 2 to 4 capsules 30 minutes before bed with a half a cup of some alkaline water. This allows 6 to 8 hours for the culture to start rebuilding the flora colonies in the gut. This is the fastest way to get this accomplished. If you take probiotics with foods and fluids throughout the day, you're washing them out of the gut. You'll be taking those products forever if you're taking them in between meals or with meals. So the best thing to do is take 2 to 4 of those before you go to bed, or drink a half a cup of kefir before you go to bed. And in 2 to 3 months, you will have rebuilt all of that good intestinal flora. And by doing that, you have just helped to increase and strengthen your immune system. The next condition I want to talk about is endometriosis. But I'd like to give you this juice recipe that is really good for anyone with fibromyalgia, endometriosis. Actually, it's a great detoxifier, and anybody can use it. And it tastes very, very good. So in a good high-powered blender, you're going to put into that a cut-up beet. Just wash it and make sure it's good and clean, and organic beet. You can use 3 or 4 of the tops to that. 1 whole apple. Everything needs to be organic. 1 apple, 2 carrots, the juice of 1 lemon, and if you want to, optionally, once in a while, I'll throw in a half of a lime. Squeeze a half a lime. And then I put in there about a half a cup of alkaline water. What this does is this aids in preventing cancer abnormal cells. It protects the heart. It helps with blood pressure. It opens and cleanses the colon. It strengthens the digestive tract. It builds the immune system. It strengthens the liver, the eyes, the heart, the pancreas, and the kidneys. It's an extremely high alkaline juice. When you look at the fruits and the vegetables that are in that, lemons are acid in their natural state, but when you take them into the body, they're the highest on the alkaline pH chart. So apples are in the high alkaline. Beets are in the high alkaline. So by taking in a juice, doing a juice like this, you are going to help to bring your body out of an acid pH condition. So I want to go back over that again real quick. That's 1 beet, 3 to 4 tops from that beet, 1 apple. You core it, take the center core out. 2 carrots, the juice of 1 lemon, juice of a half a lime is optional, and add a half a cup of water to that. I use the alkaline water. and then blend it, blend that up, and drink that down. And that is enough for one person. One thing about juicing also is juice what you are only going to be able to drink at that time. I know there's a lot of wonderful products out there on the store shelves, and in a pinch I buy them. If I'm traveling and I'm on the road, I do buy them. I found sometimes that when I'm going to southeast, I need to bring them and just carry a cooler because sometimes getting a little far east in the United States, you can't find any of these good things that we take for granted in the Denver area, that we can walk right in and pick up 3 different brands of organic juices at a local convenience store. But anyway, I want to say that the nutrient content of that juice is its highest up to 15 minutes after you juice. So this is why when you're really dealing with overcoming serious chronic illnesses, it's important to juice that organic produce and only make enough that that person can get in that one setting. You really don't want it sitting around because it will start to very, very, very quickly. It will lose its nutrient content. So I want to talk about endometriosis. I'd like to share with you a story about a young lady, about 25 years ago. And she had gone through everything with endometriosis. She'd been on different types of birth control pills, and she had gone through surgeries, and she was facing a total hysterectomy, and she was still in her 20s. It was very, very sad, and to listen to what she had gone through, just yearning and wanting a baby, but the endometriosis was preventing that. We put her on an herb program and talked with her about diet, changed some things, and it's probably within about 8 months later she was pregnant, and her son now is in his early 20s. So I do know, and my path has crossed many times with women who have had 1 or 2 children that end up with endometriosis. So a lot of times, I know a lot of things that are written say that it's women before they have ever had a child, and that's not always, that's not 100%. There are women that develop it and have problems with it after having children. So endometriosis develops when the cells in the lining of the uterus, the endometrium, accumulates outside and backs up into the fallopian tubes and into the pelvic cavity. This can also occur in the ovaries, ligaments of the uterus, the cervix, the bowel, appendix, and the bladder. It also has been found to invade the lungs as well. The damage is done when blood from the endometrial fluids finds its way deep into the peritoneal cavity, where it causes severe, incapacitating pain, inflammation, heavy menses bleeding, bleeding in between menses, cysts, cramps, a lot of back pain, especially low back, nausea to the point of vomiting. Endometriosis causes adhesions that attach to the bowel outside of the ovaries and the fallopian tubes. So a lot of times when they go into these surgeries, there's scar tissue, there's adhesions that are just attached to everything in their abdominal cavity. I mean, they cut these adhesions away from the bowel and the bladder and the peritoneum, the actual wall. So it just kind of goes in there, and because it is hormone-fed tissue, that it kind of starts growing, and it's all over the place. The medical field is unclear on how this occurs, but they do really strongly feel that it is the excess of the excess blood backing up and spilling out. And many times women are going through complete hysterectomies because of this condition. There are a lot of women ultimately who are childless due to this condition. In the natural kingdom, we address this condition with hormone balancing. We don't really believe in. I know that when people come to me, I pretty much have always told them for years, if you're walking and talking, we got time. And if you're doing good in 3 days, well, good, then, because we're going to have a few more days. And we get past that couple more days, and we just stick in there and both feet in it and 1 foot forward. And every day you'll take that day that's better. And as you build one day upon another day of getting better and being stronger, you're working yourself one day closer every day to a healing. And I've watched it happen in 37 years. It's very humbling, very humbling. So in the natural kingdom, we're not told no. We address this condition with the hormone balancing. By balancing the estrogen with progesterone, healing starts to occur. The main herb that I use is Siberian ginseng. It's one of those ginsengs that is very good for women to take. Unlike American ginseng or Korean ginseng, they're very, very high in testosterone. Healing starts to occur. Siberian ginseng is higher in progesterone. I'm sorry. Okay, so Siberian ginseng is used to bring up the progesterone levels in the body and bring down the estrogen levels. Because what I've watched in all of these years is when we take care of an excess of estrogen and bring that down into balance, this is when the healing starts to occur. One of the things that cause a lot of the high estrogen conditions that we're seeing is the xenoestrogens. If you're purchasing bottled water, for instance, that's in the real thin plastic, there are chemicals in that are synthetic hormones. The xenoestrogens occur in the plastic bottles, the styrofoam, plastic containers. They release these chemicals into the foods or the liquids. And foods, especially when they're microwaved. Excuse me. Or if they are exposed to excessive heat or extreme cold. They release these chemicals and they create havoc for the glandular system, especially the female reproductive organs. Animals fed synthetic hormones in their feed, when we ingest them, the liver has to process them. These excess hormones end up at receptor sites in our body, and they mimic healthy, normal estrogen. Ultimately, the body is overloaded with chemical hormones that create this severe condition. Progi yam cream is something else that I use as well. You use only about the size of a small pea, and it can be applied to small areas of the skin. This delivery system of absorption is called transdermal. This product helps the body increase its progesterone levels and bring down the estrogen levels. It also helps in hot flashes, cystic problems, fibroid problems of the breast and throughout the ovaries and the uterus. Also, by taking care of this high levels of estrogen, by bringing up the progesterone, it helps to take care of depression, especially if you're dealing with depression that is related to hormone imbalance. So stop and think about a lot of those jokes about menopausal women. They're real. They can be real. Okay, so another, since this is another condition that is extremely painful, and anytime you have pain, you have inflammation. If you have pain, you have inflammation. The IF relief product, the curcumin, this is something that can be used as well for not only for someone with fibromyalgia, but it's also an appropriate combination to use with someone who is dealing with the pain of endometriosis. Again, that particular combination inhibits, it's a COX-2 inhibitor, so it prevents inflammation. And usually within a couple of days, people really notice a difference with their pain level with taking this. High-potency grapevine. Grapevine is pycnogenol, and it comes from the maritime pine tree in France. The company blends this product with grapeseed, and what this does is this helps to hold it into the cell longer. Pycnogenol doesn't have a very long saturation point in the system. You would have to be like taking it every couple of hours. By the process of binding that with the grape seed, what that does is it allows that to be held longer in the tissues. So you have where you can take one every 12 hours if you want. It's used to heal, high-potency grapevine is used to heal scar tissue. And I prefer to use this over vitamin E, because a lot of people can't take vitamin E, and especially if they're an O blood type. Vitamin E is not something that is good for them to take. But vitamin E has a history of always taking care of scar tissue. So the other thing is the high-potency grapevine is 50 times stronger than vitamin E for healing and preventing scar tissue. It's also the vascular system throughout the body. It also has antioxidant properties. It's time again to go to break, and you're listening to 710 Radio, Moth 22.9, Denver, Colorado. And our sponsors are Medicine of the Herb, facebook.com/moth.denver, and Cannabis University, and at cannabisuniversitycolorado.com. Talk to you after the break.
I just graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to cannabisuniversityinc.com.
When I think about those nights in Montreal, I get the sweetest thoughts of you and me.
a stitch of makeup, I wake up feeling less than great. I think I'm crazy from lazy, I'm always running late. And you come home right on time just to see me. You see me at my worst. And I'm thinking you're thinking I don't know why I married her. But you say you're beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, you hold me tight. You're beautiful, so beautiful. And I can't speak or I'll cry. Oh, I don't deserve you, 'cause I always hurt you. Then you say the perfect thing. You're beautiful, so beautiful to me. You take care of business and listen and make time just for me. And I'm busy rushing and hushing just so I can speak. And you roll your eyes that look into mine and tell me just to wait. And I'm thinking you're thinking she's crazy, but I love her anyway. But you say you're beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, you hold me tight. You're beautiful, so beautiful. And I can't speak or I'll cry. Oh, I don't deserve you, 'cause I always hurt you. Then you say the perfect thing. You're beautiful, so beautiful. I am selfish, self-absorbed, narcissistic. Is this normal? Running late, such a mess. Too many details. Where's my dress? I wear a watch to conquer the world. Where's my keys? The tank's not full. I get in shape, it's hard to breathe. Do you love me? Oh, you love me, but I don't deserve you, 'cause I always hurt you. Then you say the perfect thing. You're beautiful, so beautiful. You're beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, you hold me tight. You're beautiful, so beautiful. And I can't speak or I'll cry. Oh, I don't deserve you, 'cause I always hurt you. Then you say the perfect thing. You're beautiful, so beautiful to me.
I try to hold on to this world with everything I have, but I feel the weight of what it brings and the hurt that tries to grab, the many trials that seem to never end. His word declares this truth, that we will enter in this rest with wonders anew. But I hold on to this hope in the promise that He brings, that there will be a place with no more suffering. There will be a day with no more tears, no more pain, and no more fears. There will be a day when the burdens of this place will be no more. We'll see Jesus face to face. But until that day, we'll hold on to you always. Journey seems so long. You feel you're walking on your own, but there has never been a step where you've walked down all alone. Troubled soul, don't lose your heart, 'cause joy and peace He brings, and the beauty that's in store outweighs the hurt of life's sting. But I hold on to this hope and the promise that He brings, that there will be a place with no more suffering. There will be a day with no more tears, no more pain, and no more fears. There will be a day when the burdens of this place will be no more. We'll see Jesus face to face. But until that day, we'll hold on to you always. I can't wait until that day where the very one I've lived for always will wipe away the sorrow that I face. Oh, to touch the scars that rescued me from a life of shame and misery. Why I sing. There will be a day with no more tears, no more pain, and no more fears. There will be a day when the burdens of this place will be no more. We'll see Jesus face to face. There will be a day
Welcome back to Kingdom of Healing. This is Kimberly Mateo. I want to pick up where I left off. We're talking here about endometriosis and things that herbally that you can do to help bring balance and healing to this condition, to the foundation being given to you so that this is something that you can overcome and get behind you. The next herb that I want to talk about is false unicorn. It helps with nervous irritability, congestion, and sluggishness of the lower pelvic area. There's a lot of inflammation and pain in the pelvic area with endometriosis. So false unicorn is hormone balancing. It also helps to bring up the progesterone level. And by helping to soothe the nervous irritability and aid the congestion and sluggishness, this is a very good herb to use with this particular condition. It's also a tonic and a healer for the female reproductive system. It's used with cramping, spotting, and heavy menses flow. Blood purification and building is also addressed. Podiarco is something that I prefer to use. It's also high in natural occurring iron, which a lot of times with the condition of dealing with endometriosis, if you have a lot of frequent heavy bleeding, bleeding in between menses, you are at risk of your iron level getting low. So Podiarco is an herb that not only cleanses and detoxifies the bloodstream, it's also extremely high in iron and will help improve the iron levels from the heavy bleeding. Cayenne or capsicum, botanically it's called capsicum, it keeps in check any internal bleeding. So it's also beneficial with heavy menses flow. Podiarco also helps in controlling or stopping a heavy flow as well. Bowel cleansing, along with a product called Enviro Detox, is very effective in cleansing toxins and excess estrogens from the body. So these excess estrogens that make their way into the bowel wall, Enviro Detox has the ability to bind those and to carry that out through the large intestine. You need to change your diet. You've got to get that pH into balance. Avoid all products where hormones are added. Commercially raised meat, poultry, milk, cheeses, butter. Avoid sugar. It depletes calcium, B complex, and suppresses the immune system. It has 1 tablespoon of sugar has the ability to paralyze the immune system for half an hour. So stop and think about that the next time you want to go putting a bunch of sugar into
Sugar has the ability to paralyze the immune system.
A can of pop or a soda, and we look at that the soda is 2 on the acid chart, or up to 2.3 on the acid chart, and you stop and think about all that sugar that's in there. I mean, there can be like 8, 10 teaspoons, I think. So there's 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon. So at 9, you've got 3 tablespoons, and I'm pretty sure that there's more than that in the sodas. So stop and think about that. Another reason to avoid sugar, it not only with depleting the calcium, but it depletes your B complex as well. Everything must be natural and organically raised. We find that we've got to stop going through some of these motions that have become very, very normal for us. And one of the things I do really believe that kitchens need to do without is a microwave. I think that when our food needs to be our medicine, and the kitchen, the center of the house where everyone gravitates to because of the food and the love going on in there, the food quality that's coming out of your kitchen encourage you to go through the cabinets and start throwing things out. Go back to that list of 10 things to get rid of. And, you don't have to maybe get rid of all 10 of them today. Why don't you take a couple of them? See if you can maybe just move those out of your diet. See how you do for 2 weeks. And go after a couple more things on the list and give that another 2 weeks. And do it slowly so that you don't feel like you're going to go crazy in 3 weeks when you're doing without everything. I would encourage you to start juicing. Give your body a break from the overload of toxins that's in everyday living, breathing, just our air alone. I touched on that just a little bit last week. Our air is creates an acidic condition in our system as well. You need to give the body a break and give it the opportunity that it needs to heal. If we continue breaking down everything, we're just not going to get into that healing place. Some more sage wisdom here. This was something I came across that I really, really liked and wanted to share. Everything on earth has a purpose. Every disease an herb to cure it, and every person a mission. This is the Indian theory of existence. And it's so very true. There's so much that we go back and it's been handed down, and to see how they respected the earth and the air, and how they respected everything that they came in contact with when it came to Mother Earth and to their food supply. So it is important that when you are dealing with specific problems and chronic disease, that you need to make sure that your organic produce is very, very plentiful. And juicing, it's amazing how much the little ones love juicing. My grandchildren, when I'm juicing, they're standing right there. They're wanting their portion. They want their portion as well. And one thing that has gone on in my household from 41 years ago when I had my first child to my youngest grandchild right now is 2, and another one on the way, number 8, is on the way October 7th. And they've all been raised without immunization shots. They've been raised with, I always had a garden. And one thing I missed about my 65-acre farm in Iowa, Crescent, Iowa, what I missed about that when I moved to Colorado was I had a 1-acre garden with that wonderful black dirt that was just full of nutrition. And I battled the ground out here in Colorado for years and finally gave up. Luckily, there was Boulder Fruit Express, and we could run up there and pick up cases of organic produce and stuff. And so as soon as I found out about that, I did organize people that I knew, and we would go up and pick up produce on a Friday morning, and then everybody would show up at the house and pick up all their produce and everything they wanted, and by the end of the day, what was left over was for my family. And so we did a lot of juicing, and the grandchildren, and my youngest one, who's 29, his 2-year-old daughter, him and his wife are very, very picky about what she eats, and they're very conscientious about that. And she has been a very well child, and all of the children have been very well. And it is using using the natural antibiotics. We have a product called Silver Sol, which is a nano silver, which is a little different than the silvers that you find on the shelf at the health food stores. The nano silver is the man that I know that started this company was for 15 years. He was the head infectious disease doctor for World Health Organization, for WHO. And back in about, I think it was about 2007, when in the news was the man who had the tuberculosis that had flown in from another country. And he was quarantined at a medical center on the East Coast. And during this time, this particular doctor, his father-in-law, had a lot to do with the military, and he was overseeing the treatment of this particular patient who was quarantined. And evidently he had a very rare type of tuberculosis. It was a resistant tuberculosis. So the antibiotics, the big gun medications they were using was not working. Excuse me. So early in the morning, this infectious disease doctor that I know, he gets a knock on the door, and literally was asked for his help and his knowledge for this particular patient. And it was the silver sol that was used. And in less than a week, he was released from the hospital, and all of his blood work, he did not have tuberculosis anymore. And it was the silver sol. Another thing that occurred with that, with this particular product, and it's the technology. It is what it is. It's the process with it that makes it very, very stable. Silver, in pioneer days, water that they were transporting, they would throw a silver dollar down into it to prevent bacteria in the water. So, or they would hold, if a child had a sore throat, they would have them hold a silver dollar in their mouth. And with that, as far as it's an antibiotic, it's an antiviral. And so the other thing with the silver was that the company that I have used all of these years, and I think, like I said before last week, is that in 37 years, I've had everybody call me, and I've crossed paths with just about everything, that every new wonderful miracle thing, where you only have to take one, and that'd be nice. And that's why we were given such a variety, because it's a combination of things. But what was done is the company that I do use their products, they provided the manpower. The company that manufactures the product provided all of the product and two cargo planes. They managed to line up 2 cargo planes, and they went over to Africa. And I believe this was 2009. It was summertime. There was a malaria outbreak, and by the time the plane landed in that area, there was quite a death toll from the malaria, and people were really, really sick. They were out of there in a week. All the silver that went down, everybody, and they left, everybody was well. So the product comes in a liquid form. It also comes in a gel form. It's wonderful for sunburn. It's wonderful to prevent any type of, a lot of people with, I notice, people that get tattoos. I had noticed the other day there was a lady that had quite a bit of work done on her lower legs, and it was very irritated, and it was red, and she was in a public place, and I was thinking, why does she not have that covered up? You're in a big public place here. There's all kinds of things that are airborne. That skin is broken. You can get something settle in there, and oh my gosh, end up with MRSA or something horrible. So The silver gel works very well to put over, any type of irritation or where the skin has been broken, to put that in there to protect it from an antiviral, antibacterial standpoint. And that is called the Silver Sol. And then the silver gel. But the product is amazing. Silver, how it works is that silver transports oxygen into the cell. So you see a lot of these for sale. They are machines that'll make your own silver. When that water kind of looks kind of gray and it looks like it has some stringy stuff in it, I am not interested in anybody I know allowing that to go in anybody's mouth or topically on their skin, because their skin is an absorption organ. And we got to be careful what we put on our skin. And so the thing with a lot of those silver home making machines is that the silver particles are too big. So that when we take them into the system, they're not accepted in through the cell wall. They puddle outside of the cell. But silver attracts oxygen. So when it puddles outside of the cell, it pulls the oxygen out of the cell and creates an anaerobic state. Remember, it's that absence of oxygen. When the nanosilver is so small that it penetrates through the cell wall. And when it penetrates through the cell wall, it attracts oxygen and pulls oxygen into the cell to kill bacteria, virus, abnormal cells that are being held within that cell. And I don't know, there were probably 4 years ago, the FDA was wanting to ban all silvers. And that was about the time that, I think we need to back up a little bit more. It was a little bit longer than 4 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Because every time you turned on the TV, you'd see the blue guy. The blue guy who made all the homemade silver. And he was blue. And I'm going to tell you something. I have bought this stuff in cases. Cases and cases. And when people are sick, I have poured it down them. My granddaughter, who is now 16, at 7 years old, was bit by a deer tick in Missouri. It was on her belly button. She had a total bullseye when that was removed. Being fearful of Lyme's disease, the immediate thing that was put on that was it was cleaned. The tick was removed intact. Did not leave its head behind. I was able to completely remove it and cleaned that area, put the silver gel on it. And my granddaughter at that time, I gave her 2 ounces twice a day. Hey, you know what? It was like $20 a whack on the bottle. The cost. But she was worth it. Lyme's disease is a horrific, debilitating disease. It's horrible. And it devastates lives. And that's all I could think of is as young as she was. And what a terrible thing it is. And that's only one thing that you can contract from a tick. So immediately, it was removed. The area was cleaned. Silver gel was constantly put on it. Oral Silver Sol was administered. And I kept her on it for like a month. And unscathed. No side effects, no problems. At Bullseye, Missouri, I had beautiful property, absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous state. And but the ticks, oh boy, it's a whole other world. So that is going to conclude our show for today. If there's anything that you'd like me to specifically talk about, I would be happy to try to address that for you. And you can send that in an email to Kingdom of Healing for you at yahoo.com. And you've been listening to 710 Radio, 22.9 Month, Denver, Colorado. Thank you for joining us today.